Hello, I'm going to show you what my budget looks like in my Google Doc Excel sheet. Is it spreadsheet? Something like that. I prefer doing this over EveryDollar, which was my previous video, and instead of literally typing in every single thing all over again, you could check out that video of how I kind of got the numbers for most of my budget. I'll probably repeat some of it here because that's what I do. But this is what my Excel looks like. So this is for January. My income, my overtime, my reimbursements. As I said in my previous video, if you notice, I actually deduct C5, which is my overtime. I don't use my overtime in my actual base budget because it is not something I see as that's what's the word? Stable. I said that in the last video. It's not stable, so I don't want to put it in. And it's also extra money, which most likely I'm going to be using for a baby step anyway. Regardless, I started the year doing it with everything entered as once, but I noticed it worked better for me if I did not include my overtime because I just made me think I had more money to spend. My main I get paid once a month, and I'll be getting it paid on the 3rd. And my overtime actually will get paid on the 13th. Normally it's on the 15th, but it lands on a weekend, so I get it a little earlier. So I actually get 2 big paychecks within 10 days. It's going to be nice. So I have my monthly expenses and my envelopes, or my digital envelopes anyway, and my loans. So for my student loans, I don't have it in there yet. I have to recertify apparently. I like all these notes I put for myself. It's deferred until April, so I will worry about it more towards February, March, April area. It's going to be income-based repayment, so most likely it's going to be a lot lower. Initially, it was going to be $980 a month, and as you can see how much I make a month base, that's not going to work for me. I would not have any money to eat, really. So income base would be very helpful until I pay off this loan. And then once I pay off this loan, all the extra money is going to go straight into my student loans. Snowballing is actually quite amazing. So let me go down. And I have my balances here. This is kind of weird. I know I'm not in January yet, so I'm going to wait until I hit actual January to update the balance with the interest. I can't think right now. My planned expenses, if you saw my previous video, for example, if I need socks, I'm going to actually budget for it, say $12. And then once I do that, once I have the $12 there, this changes. So this I actually have kind of like EveryDollar. My budget balance is now -12, which means I will be having to take from my spending. And then it's back to 0. My actual balance will only change once I start entering this column. So that does not change until I actually start entering things. The budget balance is what I use to actually make my budget. So I have all these little notes everywhere. So for example, it says minimum $3.98, $2 is round up what I used to give, $400. I wasn't going to go down anymore. $10 was a snowball for my medical bill, so my base is $410. Anything above that is because I had an extra $124.84 when I was doing my budget, and that's what I had left over, so that's what I added. So everything's all there. Nice to see. Oops. This is where I have my sinking funds. So to me, this is why I like Excel a lot better. I can actually add as much as I want. So I'm budgeting this amount. What I'm actually going to put normally is this amount. The car, I'm actually throwing in a lot more money. So even though I'm going to put $250, most likely middle of the month, I might put another $200. My target, this is my target range for my notary. I keep forgetting to enter that. I guess I should enter that. I think it's around 300, 250, something like that to get recertified. I'll check into that later. It's not really on my priority. So the beginning balance is the beginning balance I have starting as of January 1st. I still have a few days left in December, and most likely these numbers may change again because I did some extra work to get some more money to put around. So I might either put it in here or I might throw it at my loan. I haven't decided yet. I really want to get this to $3,000 as fast as possible. so I have a little less things to worry about, because without a car, I won't be able to make money. This is my end balance. If you can see right now, they're the same. So once I put the actual as 250, that's going to change. That's how that works. And then this will tell me the percentage of my goal. If you noticed, in my every dollar, I did have it as 1,000, but I only have 500 here. That's because of I'm kind of in the middle of needing the 1,000 because of my income. However, since I believe I'm getting more income, I might actually bump this up this year. That's why I'm not sure where to put the money I'm getting for December. I might actually bump this up to 1,000, but 500's been pretty good for me, especially because I have this giant one here. I don't mind that low of an emergency fund right now because I have extra money here if an emergency does hit. So if you notice, why does it say 532 cents? It's because in Capital One 360, I actually incur interest, and it's a couple of pennies, so I just let it grow. I don't mind. There's a penny here, that's fine. If I really need to hit a goal and all these pennies are going to line up together and help me, then I'll move them all in if I have to, but I'm just going to let it grow there as much as it wants. This is what been using a lot to find my target. So this is how much I need at minimum a month to hit my target by the target date. I'm putting 250 to make sure it comes out faster. The 20, I don't know how that happened. It's exactly 20. But this helps me figure out how much I'm going to need to put in, so when I'm doing my budget, I already kind of know how much at minimum I'm going to need. But this is pretty much it. I have everything here percentage-wise. This will help me. So when I get my paycheck, this paycheck, I'm going to split everything. In my checking account, I will have this amount, and that's where I get my paycheck. And then I will transfer $320 to my simple bank account, which is my spending debit card, because I personally don't use cash right now. And I normally time it a little better, but because of the holidays and everything kind of messing with the banking hours and the banking transfers, I'm going to actually advance it from my car fund, and then I'll put it back into my car fund. That's just my little note from there. Same thing with my phone, because my phone payment is around banking holidays. I don't want to go under in anything, so I'm going to be advancing it from my car fund because it's my biggest fund I have right now, and then putting it back. Most people don't like borrowing from other envelopes, but I haven't had a problem so far because I always make sure I put it back. And I put it back right away. As soon as I have the money, I put it back right away. If I'm walking down the street and it hits my account, I go on my phone and I transfer it right away. It's instant. So it's pretty good for me. The only thing that's not instant is going from Capital One to Simple. That takes a few days. That's why that's the other reason why I'm advancing it, but it just will work better for me that way. And then I know if you try to add these two up, it will not equal $17.90. It's actually $15.69.64. That's because these are not accounted for there. So as soon as I split them, this will go there, this will go there, and anything extra should be exactly what I'm putting here. Pretty much. That should be right. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I had to double check my math. So everything's split, everything's ready to go for January, and honestly, I really love budgeting now. In the beginning, I really didn't want to, for the fact that I didn't want to know. Ignorance was bliss. I didn't want to know anything. But now I know where my money goes, and I'm actually saving money, which I don't think I've done before in a long time. Not for a few years now. But if you want to know my rest of my little booklet, so my accounts, and I don't have any of my passwords on here, so that's fine. I'm going to have a password on one account, but I just won't click that. So these are just where I pay everything. I'm going to make this a little more pretty, but, oh, I can actually delete this now. You guys can watch me delete this, because I don't need that anymore. Oh, that makes me happy. Okay, I'll fix that later. Debt paid. I paid this. It's done. But I want to leave it on there because it just makes me happy. So I'm going to actually try to track my debt paid. I tried last year and I kind of lost it somewhere around May. So I don't exactly know how much I paid. I mean, I could go back and reconcile, which I'm probably going to do. So whenever I actually pay anything, I'm going to put it in here so I know running total, how much I've been paying towards debt. My student loans, I believe, has my student loans information on it, so I'm not going to click on it. My retirement accounts do have it. So I'll just tell you what's in them. In my student loans, it's all my student loans as of a few months ago. I'm going to update it again. All the payment, all the interest, all the loans in order, everything basically about the loans, and then some income-based repayment information on there. For my retirement account, I'm going to actually log into my retirement account once every month and update it on my little spreadsheet just so I can have a visual, because one of them at least does not give me a history, which kind of annoys me. So I can't really see what I had the month before for whatever reason. So I'm deciding to track them. For my credit card payments, I'm going to click on this because I don't know what it is. Oh yeah, no, I forgot what that was. So this is where I kind of use all my mind work here. So if I'm gonna pay hopefully $7.89, I think that's what I was planning to pay in December. Either December or January, I might have had this off. But what's fun about this, say if I put $2,000 in January, so you see where it ends here right now. So I put 2,000 and it cuts it by a couple of months. So every time I make a payment, I can add it on here so I can see how close I am to finishing it. Obviously, I'm not going to take until 2020. I am going to try my hardest to pay it off as fast as possible. And I have little targets here. So if my target is 412, target is 6, I have targets on here. If I stay on target, if I stay on all my targets, I will actually pay this off in 1 year, which would be amazing. It'd be more amazing if I pay it off sooner, but, gonna work as hard as possible to get out of debt. So, that was my little Excel budget. If anybody wants this template, let me know. I have no problem sharing it with anybody, absolutely at all. If you want this template to be filled out with your budget, you can let me know, but in that case, you're gonna have to let me know all of your information so I can actually put it in for you. And I mean this one, I don't mean the rest of these. I could send you these too, but they wouldn't make sense to most people. You won't really need most of these unless you want the credit card one. But that one you could download. I could probably put that in the description. But yeah, if you have any other questions, let me know and have a good one. Bye.